Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach to get like the white man? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet?
I love people as I meet them one by one. People are just wonderful as individuals. You see the whole...
My great aspiration, my greatest ambition is to be so good. Now, in that way, I'm tiresome, as I suppose, to live with, because I want to be a fantastic human being.
I am the greatest. We're not disputing that, Cassius, but how does Sonny Liston feel about it? He can't feel but one way, and let's take everything I say and like it. Because February the 25th, I'm going to take back my job. I'm the champ. He's no champ. He's a tramp.
When you see men fall, don't laugh. Learn. Learn. Because you're on your way up. And the things that tempt people to fall, you and I are not free from that temptation.
Mantra, slave song, slave ship, rip skin, made me rip bones. But no matter how close I hide, my ancestors speak. They tell me the tide isn't run on us like we're weak. I haven't been getting sleep, longing to sing until I surpass peak. Until they think we are equal, please. All I want is peace. My ancestors beat drums until their bones would bleed, begging the generations remember our story.
Good morning, people. Blessings. Blessings, blessings. Another day, another dollar. The grind don't stop. The hunger don't go nowhere. You gotta be locked in. You gotta be solid. You gotta be content. You gotta be relentless. If you woke up this morning and you don't have the drive or the motivation, I can give you 1,000 reasons why you should think the opposite. This ain't the time to be BSing around. This is the time to get it in. Don't waste not a single second. I'm telling you, you make every moment matter. Make every opportunity count. Even the smallest gestures, even the littlest things can add up and amount to something greater. As long as you're persistent and you locked in and your attention isn't on the acceptance of others and you ain't waiting around for the handouts, you got to literally stick your hand out there and go get that shit yourself. You good. You'll be all right. Now, I was supposed to come on an hour earlier, but I had to make sure that I changed my intro up. A lot of things I'm revamping around here. As you'll see at the end of the stream, I made some modifications. Shout out to Sister Green, man. In the next few weeks or so, it's going to be a lot of drastic changes. I want to close this year out so versatile and so different than where I was at the beginning of it. It's not even going to be a joke. Let me make sure. All right, cool. We good. Yeah, Lord willing, a lot is going to be different. Shout outs to my poets, my writers, my content creators. You know who you are. Much love to you. Shout outs to Rob for the intro. Not on this one, but the evening shows, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Clara, Chef, Arcana. A lot of people then came through it, put it like that. But you see the title. This is what I want to chop it up about real quick. You know, for those of you who think this has anything to do with bashing anybody, it's not. This is just the ugly side of the internet. This is what you get when you assume that attraction equates longevity. And you'll see what I'm talking about here in a second. Miss Apryl Jones was dealing with Omarion. And they had their issues. Things didn't really pan out for them like you would like it to do for Black relationships, just in relationships in general. And the way that she handled this, how both of them handled it, but especially her, mostly her, the way that she handled this was absolutely, it was just disappointing. It's disheartening. Mostly for me, because as an adult, when you're dealing with the opposite gender in any capacity, you should know how to handle certain situations accordingly. I'm going to play a clip here. I'm going to let it ride out. And then I'll give you my thoughts. This wasn't it. This wasn't it at all. And I'm going to address some of the comments and the, well, what did he do to make her do? I'm going to address all that shit too. So let's bring this up on the big screen. Unmute. Okay. And let's play it. She was having an interview with someone about how she wasn't really into Fizz. Y'all know the group. Let's have a conversation.
On a love of Fizz?
No, Fizz was not my type.
Okay.
Fizz was a great friend. Fizz was someone I felt safe with. But that was it. Yeah. And I'm so grateful for him. Literally, at that time, he was a great friend. So,
how did Omarion find out?
I think publicly, maybe not. Let me think before I speak.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really remember. I don't know if I said something, or maybe he's seen us. I know he saw us hanging out because we were on blogs together. Mm-hmm. So he saw us hanging out before the show ended up coming up, but he didn't say anything. It wasn't talked about. Like, me and O weren't good. We didn't talk.
Y'all weren't on speaking terms.
No, we were not. Me and him were not good at that time. So, yeah, and they weren't. So, you know what I'm saying? That's why I'm like, it's interesting. I know what it could look like on the outside world, right? Because, these people grew up together and they were in a band together, but like, people grow apart. And
did you fall on?
All right. Let's go ahead and clear up some things. B2K they set standards. They were in a league of their own in terms of music as a group. I don't know what the backstory is specifically behind why they fell out. I don't know why Omarion and Fizz fell out. But here's the problem that I want to address first. These gentlemen had whatever issues they had going on. They went their separate ways. If they could not sit down and talk about whatever it was, if it was that major, if it was like that significant of damage that they couldn't come back from, even though I don't believe that there's too much that you can't come back from, depending on like the severity of the problem. But if they couldn't fix that, brother to brother, if I've been riding with you for years, on the road, off the road, if I've been right there by your side through all your shit and vice versa, remove April from the equation. Let's address the men here first. I'm gonna get to her. Let's just speak on this as if Omarion and Lil Fizz was here in the present. We talk about sister code and bro code, and there's boundaries that you're not supposed to step over. You don't sleep with your friends' exes, and you don't do this shit. And how many times have we had that conversation? If I've known you 10 plus years, if I've known you an X amount of time, and we've pretty much done everything that you can think of, I'm gonna consider you to be a crucial part of my life, my development, my character. I'm going to look at the world differently because of experiences that we shared. You're not necessarily going to be 1000% responsible for what I become, but you've had a large part of it. There are lines that you don't cross. It's just some things that you do not do. One of those things is, no matter how bad y'all fall out, if you really were cool, you do not cross that line. You stay away from the exes. You stay away from women that had interest. You don't do that at all. So for Fizz to cross that line and sleep that man, woman like that, that's not something that I can get with. That's ratchet, that's trifling, that's dirty as hell. And it's so normal, I ain't surprised that it happened. Most people are surprised that it happened. I'm not. This shit happens everywhere, in every community. Don't really matter the level or the degree in which you operate on. People are backstabbers and betray all the time. From social media to the real world, your best friends, your cousins, your aunties will sleep with your boyfriends and shit like that. Your uncles and shit will sleep with your family member. Like, nobody is off limits. Even though we're supposed to operate from this sense of morality, people still don't give a shit. The flesh wants what the flesh wants, and most people don't have control over their flesh. So it's easy for them to say, "Well, shit, I ain't really that cool with them anyway," you know. Or you find ways to rationalize doing some fuck shit to somebody. So you make an excuse for why you do it. Trifling. Absolutely trifling. If you can do that to me, we was never really cool anyway. I can understand us falling out over business and falling out over maybe some misunderstandings and shit like that. Matter of fact, I'm not even mad at you sleeping with this woman, past or present. Like, because in all reality is you can't make somebody be loyal to you. If a person is going to be loyal to you, they're going to be loyal. It don't really matter if y'all argue for a week. It don't matter if y'all ain't slept together in a month. If they respect you, they love you. They're not crossing over. Don't matter how bad y'all fall out or how long you don't speak. I could be under the same roof and never say a fucking word to each other. But you just know that there's lines that you don't cross. But for you to be able to sleep with somebody that you know was dealing with your boy or your girlfriend, nah. I'm not mad at you. I'm disappointed. And on top of that, you've provided me a level of clarity that I didn't understand before. See, all you've done is give me a different perspective on what friendship looks like, what loyalty looks like. And you've allowed me to highlight all of my characteristics that are flawed. Because if I'm Omarion, I'm looking at that like, well, something in me is not operating the way that it should be. If I dealt with a woman who has the capabilities of sleeping with someone within my camp, I'm not doing something right. My vetting is trash. The way that I judge quality in women, trash. Something inside of me is not good. I thank you, brother. We ain't talking, we ain't cool, but you did me a favor. I can't rock with you because you ain't really to be trusted. But you showed me what I need to be looking out for. You showed me how to identify what a friend is and what a friend isn't. You showed me that I've been weak. I've been too vulnerable. I've been too passive. I've been too blind and ignorant to my gut instincts. I should have really just said, hey, man, this is really happening in my face. Let me stop acting delusional to it and address it. Situations like this, it make you mad and angry, and like it be taking people through a whirlwind of different emotions. But if you really slow down your breathing, you shut the world out, close your eyes, you play back the scenarios and all of your history, you know that a part of the denominator is you in all of these areas. What he did is forgivable, but you're not somebody that I'm gonna move with no more. Apryl Jones, aside from this whole thing, just on character, on principle alone, if you're willing to cheat, lie, backstab, betray, talk bad or negatively about your friends or whoever, if you're willing to go that far, that means that I've allowed you to do it. Either you allow people to treat you like shit directly or indirectly. Like real shit. Because you have to have a certain level of low self-esteem to bring people into your existence and allow them to talk to you a certain type of way, allow them to have too much access to who you are as a person, allow them to spend your money, allow them to be around your family. And like there's things that should just be completely off the table. Most of the time, this shit is out for. Sometimes you don't see it right away. Sometimes you gotta find out the hard way that things just wasn't what you thought they were. You live and learn if you're lucky enough, and you don't allow your ego and your pride to cause more damage than good. So we fast forward. They not cool. We find out she did what she did with his homeboy, and then now you heard the video. You heard the video. Now I'm going to address April, and I'm going to address a specific group of women. Don't say I have some type of vendetta or anger towards women. Don't even come at me with that shit, because I just directed the first half of this portion to the brothers who will be moving in a certain way. Like, don't do that. But I'm definitely about to address her because she's trifling as fuck for this. And there's a lot of women that do the same shit. So this is a message overall for men and women. Help me understand something. So you weren't attracted to him. I feel like I need to play that shit one more time. I want y'all to really hear it. You ain't these ain't my words. These are hers. These are hers. These are your words. You said, and any woman who is watching this, you can't gaslight, you can't save her, and you can't save nobody else that moves like that. Let me play that shit one more time.
Love and Fizz?
No, Fizz was not my type.
Okay.
Fizz was a great friend. Fizz was someone I felt safe with. But that was it. Yeah. And I'm so grateful for him. Literally, at that time, he was a great friend. So,
how did Amarian find out?
I think publicly, maybe not. Let me think before I speak.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really remember. I don't know if I said something, or maybe he's seen us. I know he saw us hanging out because we were on blogs together. Mm-hmm. So he saw us hanging out before the show ended up coming out, but he didn't say anything. It wasn't talked about. Like, me and weren't good. We didn't talk.
Y'all weren't on speaking terms.
No, we were not. Okay. Me and him were not good at that time.
All right. So you weren't even attracted to him. He wasn't your type. You weren't interested in him. How many times have we had that conversation? How many times have you watched somebody on social media especially in her seat, say that she wasn't really into the person, but yet still, you still managed to find your way in bed with them. You didn't love them, you didn't like them, but you still managed to get wet. You still managed to open your legs up to that man. How does that work? Hmm.
Don't blush. Damn it, he has so much sauce.
Say what you want. Body counts matter. Body counts exist for a reason. I said this shit weeks ago. A lot of these females, man, they'll sleep with you just because you know how to communicate. Some of them will sleep with you just because they are in a drought. You're not even the main option. Some of them will sleep with you because you got a nice car. Some of them will sleep with you because you're overly aggressive. Some of them will sleep with you because you just got out of prison. Y'all be acting like we don't see the same shit on social media. Like, I don't turn on my TV the same way as you do. Or I don't turn on my Netflix and I don't see a dramatization of a woman having an affair on her husband. Or I don't turn on Instagram and I scroll and I see nothing but twerking. Or like, come on, man, what are we talking about here? All that to say, you slept that man homeboy and you're trying to justify by what? Saying what? We just wasn't in a good space, and he came to my rescue and he was talking to me and he was very gentle and kind, and he helped me get through a dark time. And so one thing happened and here we are. But I never even liked him. I was never really into him at all. So you know he's going through it with his guy. They ain't even cool. And you thought to yourself, I can't seem to find any type of resolve with this guy as a black woman. So what I'm going to do to get back at him for the pain and anger and hurt that I feel, I'm going to sleep with his best friend. That's your way of getting back at him. That makes perfect sense.
How dare you?
Very logical. So you fucked around and slept with this man's boy, got your body, another body on your couch. That's one of the ones that you're gonna brush off. Y'all don't want men to ask you about your body counts. I know why. Like, but the truth is, most men and women, they betray niggas. They people out here are shiesty, man, and dirty as fuck. That's why you shouldn't be so quick to want to lay down with everybody, because you don't know the type of juju that these people be having on them. Niggas be having the spirit of infidelity. You lose them how you found them, right? That's how I go, right? You lose them how you found them. Never fails. That's a spirit. That's a spirit that follows everybody around who operate like that. She wanted revenge. See, she wasn't woman enough to figure that shit out without bringing somebody else in. She didn't even bring in a stranger. She brought in a nigga that was close to him, close to home, because she wanted to hurt him. And also, on top of that, I don't give a shit what she talking about. You can't sit here and tell me that you can't, unless you're telling me that your pussy just dry when you had sex with that man every time. I ain't buying it. Ain't nobody out here about to have sex with a bitch that can't get wet. Sorry, I know it's still early in the morning, afternoon. It is what it is. You are not. If you can sleep with a nigga that you ain't attracted to, there's no telling how far your trifling ass will go. Matter of fact, just this shit right here alone tell you right now, stop investing all of your energy in women, man. Work on making money and finding your purpose. Let God lead you. Because most people out here are selfish. They don't give a fuck about me, you, or the next person. All they thinking about is them. As a black woman, you handle your inside issues with your man. You don't take that shit outside of the household. You don't get other people involved. Go to counseling if you want to do that. You don't bring other people into your mess, all right? And of all people, you chose that man's friend. I don't need to know how bad it was. I don't need to know. Everything that is being said here is all the evidence I need provided to show what type of character you have. That's fucked up. But it's common. Like, this shit happens every day, all day. Instead of just breaking up, saying this ain't gonna work, you decided that you was gonna take it to a whole nother level. You broke all type of codes. It was already bad enough this man did this shit to Omarion in the first place. That alone was a problem. You added on to it. That's not loyalty. That's not being a black queen. That's not being an example out here. You can't tell nobody or give anybody relationship advice. I would not want my girl being friends with you. I wouldn't want my wife being friends with you. That's crazy as shit. And you didn't win anything out of it. You ended up with children. You're not married. And y'all just further fucked up more relationships along the way. So now you ain't with neither one. You ain't got access to that level of celebrity anymore. And you have to come back down to earth with the rest of us and work. But you're being so brazen and transparent about your transgressions openly on this podcast because you don't care about the negative feedback. You're trying to remain relevant. You want eyes and attention on you so that this could possibly get you back in the community of celebrity, whether or not you gotta take L's for it or not. You're not ashamed. You don't feel bad. If y'all don't want to be with each other, just leave the shit. If you want to go out here and fuck around with other people, leave what you're in before you do it, or have the conversation before shit gets bad. Decide if that's what y'all on cue for, and then move forward. But y'all don't do it. You do the most dastardly shit, and then you want to cry and plead to the world like we supposed to feel something for that. I don't feel nothing for that. You look worse, and you make women look bad because the difference between me and a lot of people is I can separate this from others. I know every woman ain't like this. Also, though, I do know to proceed with caution. I entertain and bullshit around on social media all day. I post, I upload, I do what I do. But at the end of the day, you gonna put effort and energy and time into me. I'm not chasing nothing. I'm not going out of my way for a fucking soul unless it's about this right here. My time and energy is invested. Y'all lie, you're full of shit, and you're very hypocritical and contradictory. You do it like it's a 9-to-5 job. You don't stop. You're constantly clocked in. Hold on.
Ladies and gentlemen, listen. Contrary to your belief, I do not have no sad story to give you about me being homeless. I'm not hungry and I'm not thirsty. Please respect my honesty because that's all I have. So with that being said, can anybody on this train help a brother out on getting a bag of weed? I'm trying to get high. For those who speak Spanish, uno peso para llenar por favor.
I don't care. I don't trust a lot of people. You do one thing and you say another, and you are pretty much grifting at this point. You're trying to placate both sides. It's cool. April, I acknowledge the fact that you have no issues with working a regular job. That's fine and dandy. But you do realize that you fucked up. Now, I don't know how bad the relationships were, but we got to point the finger at both parties. Don't stay somewhere where you're not happy. Don't have children with someone that you don't intend on spending the rest of your life with. Don't open your legs up to people that you don't intend on spending the rest of your life with. That way, you mitigate any likelihood of being tied to a person that will be a burden in your backside for years to come. We don't do it though. And so you are here giving this sob story. You wasn't into him. You didn't like him like that, but you still fucked him. And multiple times. Not just once. You fucked around with this dude for a long time, but you weren't attracted to him. That makes perfect sense. I bet you put some energy into it. I know damn well you ain't just lay there. I know you did. Stop it. Stop coddling these women, man. I'm an independent, strong woman. I don't need a man, and all men ain't this and all this shit. But they be having that I don't give a fuck attitude. Remember what I said yesterday about Jezebels? They come to steal and destroy. They siphon and take until there's nothing left. And then they move on to the next. A lot of these women got stuff in them, man, that will destroy a family. It will break up a happy home. All because what? You have something that they need from you. Apryl Jones, you fucked up your future. You got your kid in between rumors and gossip and red pill concept. All because what? You didn't know how to have a conversation with Omarion, figure out what y'all wanted to do before you proceeded to have a child with him, and then proceeded to get in a situation with Fizz. And like, that shit is messy, man. All of it is messy. That's why I said Omarion got to take this L too. Because if he would have known better, he would have done better. If people really properly did the work on themselves, they would know that 99%, 94, 95, 96% of the people in the world really just ain't for you in the romantic sense. Y'all niggas just be horny and opportunist. You want the money, you want the status, you want the attention and the fame and all the credit that come with it. Y'all don't really give a shit about the consequences that come behind fucking around with people that you have no business messing around with. You're blinded by the appearance and the aesthetics. This ain't it. You had sex with somebody you ain't even like. Who looked stupid? Really? You sitting up here trying to clown him, which he is a clown for that shit. Lil Fizz is definitely a clown for that shit. But you think you're embarrassing him and you're not going to receive any level of it yourself? I need to get my my shit back on here. I really do.
You didn't say that. Tell me you did not just say that.
Oh, he's not really for me, but you still managed to do what you did with him. And all out of what? All this revenge sex and all this revenge this and revenge that shit don't never work out for nobody. It never has, it never will. Y'all keep on thinking that shit is cute, and you all it does is end up getting you embarrassed, somebody in jail, or seriously hurt because you're operating out of emotion. I got to get them back for doing this to me. I got to get them. Figure out the problems, walk away, move on, level up. That's the best way to heal. That's the best way to become better. Just level up. Fuck shit. Now that I know, question. This is just my opinion, but question. You don't know nothing about this person before you meet them. You meet them, y'all kick it. Everything's on the up and up. Seemed like it was chill. Y'all start asking the personal, intimate questions. They don't want to tell you about their sexual past, but they do talk about certain things within their relationship patterns. But they don't, people never really come clean about their part in these situations. They always point the finger at everybody else. If you knew a person's history before they opened their mouth, would you still pursue them? Like if you knew that she's the type of person that would sleep with your friends and shit because she's done it before, would you still want to deal with her, even though she would tell you that she's not that person anymore, that she's a whole entirely different? Would you still trust that? Right. That's why people don't want to share their history. Everybody ain't built for that truth. And the true desires that be lingering around in people's heart. The things that y'all like, if we all knew what people have done in their life, I know God gotta be sick to his stomach with a lot of us, man. Gotta be. Just saying it, man. I don't know if you learned from it listening to you talk about it here, even though it's just a brief clip. You don't sound very remorseful. You don't sound like you changed at all. Given the opportunity, you probably would end up in this situation again. I don't know. I can't say it. I know based on what I saw, I wouldn't even fuck with it. I wouldn't even attempt to put myself in that position at all because, the risk is not worth the reward. As if there was really much of a reward in the first place. Doesn't really matter if you're rich. Doesn't matter if you're poor. Doesn't matter if you live in between. Human nature will always prevail in the weak-minded people. I don't even get mad anymore. I don't get mad at people for being angry or troll. I don't get mad at folks for being dismissive. I don't get mad at none of this shit. I expect it. What I'm still adjusting to is the fact that there are people that are consistent and real and honest and transparent. I'm still getting used to that. I'm not used to it. I'm not used to seeing consistency, loyalty, someone who chooses me over hypergamous nature, chooses God over man. I'm not used to that. That's rare. You're hardly going to see that. You will never know that I'm successful or whatever. I would rather you think that I'm poor for the rest of my life or that I ain't shit. I don't care. Don't bother me one bit. Folks are opportunists, manipulative, controlling, indecisive. And anybody who thinks like her is the reason why conversations like this need to happen. You cannot go on a platform like that, tell the world, well, the world don't know what we were going through. I had to sleep with his friend. I had to sleep with his best friend. I had no choice. I wasn't happy. You really, like, y'all really be going on the internet saying dumb shit like that. Like, that's supposed to make sense. No, that shit don't make sense at all. That shit sound dumb as fuck. And you sound crazy as hell. To even think somebody is going to believe that goofy shit. You need help. You need therapy. You need Dr. Phil. Why don't you go ahead and have a conversation with the fake Dr. Brian? Yeah. I hope at some point you humble yourself and you really find like some resolve and some peace within, because that low frequency level of thinking is going to get you in trouble over and over and over and over and over again. That's mean. That's nasty. That's nasty work. Good luck to you. Good luck to all that you do. I hope one day that you truly find clarity and you stop moving destructive. Stop letting the world control how you live and how you treat yourself and people. Best of luck to Omari. I know he seems to be happy. He seems to be in a way better space than he's ever been. Weird, right? That man happy as hell right now. Living his best life. That should have been you. Why didn't it work out? How is it that he managed to make it work with his current wife, but he couldn't make it work with you? That don't seem a little suspicious. Yeah. Time to do some groundwork. It seems like one side elevated and evolved while the other one has settled, decided that they were going to stay in that same place they were in when all this shit, like you're the same person that you were when you were dealing with him then. You haven't changed at all. That's what it looked like. Because he's up here and you're right here. Fruits of the labor speak for himself. If you really learned your lesson and you were a better woman for your experiences, that would have translated into what we see today. You didn't learn anything. And there's a lot of women out here just like her. Y'all refuse to hear. You refuse to listen. You don't give a shit about what is being said. You know what you know, and you can't be told you're wrong. And good luck with that. Good luck with your attitude. Good luck with being prideful. Good luck with being entitled. Good luck with thinking you know everything and you can't be corrected. Good luck with being everything that you need, and you don't need anybody else, and this, that. You can have it. You can. Nobody's arguing with y'all at all. That's how you want to speak. If that's how you want to walk and dress, if this is your real view and honest take on reality, bon appetit. Bon appetit.
I ain't fucking with that shit no more. Where's my fucking coat?
I appreciate y'all for hanging out with me. I will be back later on, Lord willing, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time to get back in the laboratory, get some more recordings done. Salutes to all the new subs. By the way, appreciate y'all. The work don't stop. If you need me, you know where I'm at. Like, share, subscribe, push the button. I am out. You enjoy the rest of your day. If I don't see you tonight, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Have a blessed week. You dig? Hold on a minute. Wait a minute.
Mantra, slave song, slave ship, rip skin, made me rip bones. But no matter how close I my ancestors speak, they tell me the tide isn't run on us like we're weak. I haven't been getting sleep, longing to sing until I surpass peak, until they think we are equal. Please, all I want is peace. My ancestors beat drums until their bones would